Good morning, everyone. It's time for our market review, our Monday market review. If I have to be honest with you all on this beautiful Monday morning, it's quite difficult to have a view at the moment on BTC. Yes, in fact, we are trading at the level that we were discussing was the start of whoops, the start of the proper low volume node, which should mean that if we flip this level, we should see 28K in no time. Is that a correct assessment? We cannot know for sure for the moment. We can also be trying this area as the top of a range and play them in reversion. From that perspective, it does make a lot of sense to start looking for shorts here or maybe a bit around here uh, and look for the reversion to the mean, probably to this area of higher volume, which is concentrated around 22, 21K. That is not a trade in itself so far. And as I mentioned before, myself, I'm a bit confused to how to execute at the moment. I had bought BTC at 20 here. Yes, 29, 28K, 29, sorry. 18, 19K, there we go. And I'm quite happy with the results so far. However, I'm considering if it's not a good idea to actually start taking some profit. I was surprised to see this last move up. To be honest, I was expecting a bit more of weakness and maybe retest here to create this type of excess, like we see with this candle here, which meant that there was a lot of selling, then a lot of buying that overwhelmed the selling and then continue up. We are not seeing the same structure here, which can be a bit concerning. I tend to like the rotations more when they have an excess, like here, like here, like here, like here. This one is not as strong, if you ask me. However, we're still at higher prices than we were a couple days before, so that from that perspective, the Wolves cannot make a case for can make a case for continuation. Sorry. The second chart that I like to check for context is this this one, which is the standard sessions profile TPO. Let's take the open interest, make little sense on this chart. As in confluence with analysis before, we have a naked point of control on the previous, and this is July 30, yeah, the last 2 days of July. We created this area of high volume up the top, and then mean revert. That's one of the possible scenarios that we can be looking for now. Touching this area, rejecting, and then mean reversion. If we get this reversion with a strong rejection around this area, in my opinion, it's very likely that we cover this inefficient gap. We take out this naked point of control as well, and then we cover this another inefficient gap and looking for new longs. I wouldn't be as convinced with the bull case if that type of development happens around this area. So you can be setting your alarms for this area and deciding at the moment. If you're not long on BTC, I wouldn't be chasing here unless you take a high risk scalp and not scalp, but a position day trade where you will be looking to invalidate around this lower wick. Yes, around the level of 24, I think makes sense for a chase, hoping to sell here and maybe higher if we have an overextension. But for the moment, I wouldn't be opening new trades here. It's kind of as I mentioned it on the beginning, I don't have a perfect read at the moment, but it's what I'm seeing in levels of targets. I have BTC that I bought at 18K. Yeah, I was say 28. Este, we have that I have that BTC that I bought, and I'm considering taking profits fully here, to be honest. So for that's what I'm seeing at the moment in regards to context. The other picture that I like to discuss is this. I was making these small drawings. Let's delete them. But essentially, the price action chart is showing us more on with our pivots, our different color line pivots, are showing us a very similar structure. Level of interest here, next level of interest in this continuation daily pivot that we have at 26,500. Let's see the structure in the lower time frames. And let's see a volume profile as well. If we consider this area as this period, let's consider this period. This one is not interesting. Of course, we have a large amount of volume built here, but we have larger amount of volume built below. So if we play by volume distribution, what you want to see, and this is a 4-hour chart, what you want to see is a flip of this um, value area high, if you will, of this period that we are considering, and a shoot to this level. I would most definitely be taking profit here because this area we have marked here is a fail to return area. If we can maybe see it more clearly on the line chart. There we go. It's an area that, as we discussed on the first editions, price was supposed to revert to the mean like this, but it didn't. So there are very high chances that the buyers that are still holding onto positions here will sell at the first opportunity they get. So that's why I consider it could be a very good take profit point. If we overextend, of course, we'll start looking for a rejection around the edge of this high volume node, which is a bit higher of the, and that would be the number 28K that many traders have already now on their minds, the level that everyone is watching, and where everyone, although I don't like to use that generalization of say everyone and no one wants to do this, but we can say that more than a few retail crowd traders, including us, are already eyeing this level. So it's usually not the most consensus option the market ends up developing. So keep an eye on that. The other possibility, that I am eyeing, and that makes for a sense for a new trade, will be to start rejecting here and going into an acceptance within this value area and reversion to the mean. The mean would be around this level at 22K, 21K, sorry, where the most volume of this whole period of consolidation was traded. We have these two options for the moment, and as I said, to be honest, I am not really convinced of any. It's a tricky level to play. We have been in a very violent downtrend the last month, so it makes sense to be a bit hesitant with the bull case. Me personally, I have been trading lower time frame scalps on alts and on BTC during the last, I don't know, 4 months or more. So it's kind of difficult to try to, to visualize how a swing trade can actually have been performed from these levels and be successfully taken fully profits here. But in case the market surprises, we have that exposure. So that is for the context that I'm personally seeing at the moment on BTC. And next, we will discuss the order flow of the session.